Every year on March 17th, something strange happens. Cities across the world suddenly turn green. People wear green clothes, green hats, even green beards. In Chicago, the entire river turns bright green. Pubs overflow with crowds, music fills the streets, and millions celebrate a holiday many of them barely understand. It's called St. Patrick's Day. But here's the surprising question. Who was St. Patrick, and why did his story turn into one of the largest cultural celebrations on Earth? Tonight, we dive into the remarkable history behind the day when the world goes green. St. Patrick's story begins far from Ireland. Around the late 4th century, Patrick was born in Roman Britain. His family was Christian, but Patrick himself didn't take religion seriously. That changed when he was 16 years old. Irish raiders attacked his village and kidnapped him. Patrick was taken across the sea and sold as a slave in Ireland. For 6 years, he worked as a shepherd. Cold hills, lonely nights, and endless isolation. During those years, Patrick began to pray constantly. And eventually, he believed God gave him a message. Escape. Patrick escaped. He walked nearly 200 miles to the coast and found a ship that returned him to Britain. For many people, that would have been the end of the story. But Patrick had a dream. In it, the people of Ireland called to him, "Come back." So Patrick did something extraordinary. He returned to the very land where he had been enslaved. But this time, he came as a missionary. His goal was to spread Christianity across Ireland. And over decades, he traveled the island, teaching and baptizing thousands. One of the most famous legends says that St. Patrick drove all the snakes out of Ireland. According to the story, he chased them into the sea and banished them forever. But there's just one problem. Ireland never had snakes. Scientists believe the story is symbolic. The snakes likely represented pagan beliefs that Patrick helped replace with Christianity. Still, the legend survived. And over time, Patrick became the symbol of Irish identity. Patrick died on March 17, around the year 461. Over time, Irish Christians began honoring that day. But for centuries, it was a quiet religious observance. No parades, no green beer. Everything changed when millions of Irish immigrants moved to the United States. There, the holiday evolved into something bigger. A celebration of Irish culture and identity. Today, St. Patrick's Day is celebrated around the globe. But nowhere does it quite like Chicago. Every year, the city dyes its entire river bright green. The tradition began in 1962, when plumbers accidentally discovered a dye that turned water green. Instead of fixing the mistake, the city turned it into a tradition. Now it's one of the most famous St. Patrick's Day celebrations in the world. Today, St. Patrick's Day is famous for parades, music, and celebration. But behind the green hats and green rivers lies a deeper story. A kidnapped boy, a journey of faith, and a man who returned to change a nation. From a quiet religious observance to a global celebration, St. Patrick's Day reminds us how one life can leave a legacy that lasts for centuries. And every March 17th, the world turns green to remember it.